Sins of the Black Flamingo, issue number 1. That's right, folks. Okay, yeah, I had no idea what to expect with this book. Andrew Wheeler, Travis Moore, weaving their webs into a creative way. I like both those names. I'm excited to see what kind of stuff they're going to do. Yeah, this is my shit, man. I really dug this book. It's very much that, upper class, poshy, kind of just like sassy, catty stuff. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, and I completely get that. But it's really fun. It's really engaging. And I think it's really new reader friendly, where it's like you understand how stories work, so it doesn't need to lay out all the bullshit for you. You can figure out the pieces along the way. I respect that. I think this is doing a great job. And of course, it's Travis Moore. The artwork's incredible. Tamara Bonville doing the colors. It's amazing. Everything about the way this book looks is fantastic, and I think it's so special. So we open up this book. We're seeing a couple, the Steinens, and they're just like, there's this artifact my grandfather had, and we kind of want to get it back. Do you think you could help us? And they're talking to a man called Mr. Flamingo, and we don't see his face. It's hidden by the sun. But then we get a little bit more narration from this guy, and the narration in the book is incredibly well written. It's very catty, very like on the nose, just like, oh, look how silly and weird the world is. It's kind of funny, kind of dumb. I'd recommend reading that stuff too. It's kind of an interesting take on things. And they're in Florida. Of course they're in Florida, the weirdest place on the world apparently. Just 2 pages dedicated to look how weird Florida is. But we see that this man is inside this old museum that's pretty much a monument to racism. It's just a bunch of stuff that nobody likes. And we see Mr. Flamingo is dressed up as one of the sailors on like a stand somewhere, waits for the store or the museum to close before he jumps off and puts on his gear. And this is where I was like, oh, I thought the Black Flamingo wasn't going to be a guy. I thought it was like a place, but it's a guy. The Black Flamingo is a gentleman thief. He steals from the rich and gives back to those who ask. So he slips past a guard. He's wearing a special mask that blocks his eyes from being seen on camera, and you can see it's kind of like sparkling away his vision in a beautiful rainbow. Kind of fun. Sneaks into a back room with a bunch of Nazi shit. So that's interesting and scary, and he's looking for some stuff. There it is. He finds a special rock that he was looking for, and also the plans for this weird collar of a person. He's like, hey, that might come in handy later. So he puts it on, sneaks out undetected. We cut to the morning. He gives the rock to the Steinhems, and they're like, what are we doing here? And we see that they have this like weird statue of a man. What does it mean? What is any of this? And Mr. Flamingo is able to figure out, oh, I know exactly what this means. He places the rock inside the statue of the man. The man was a golem, and this is where we realize it is the trapped soul of Mr. Steinham's grandfather. This is his lover. This is the lover of Mr. Steinham's grandfather, the secret one they didn't talk about. And now he's in the present day, confused as hell of what's going on. And he's got a new place to be, so he's free, he's happy, the family's back together. What an interesting story that I like. Makes sense to me. Kind of cool. Then let's learn a little bit more about the Black Flamingo. He's actually dyeing his hair, which is kind of smart in a sense, if you ask me. And his name is Sebastian Harlow. And he's talking to, I'm guessing it's his assistant or his friend of some sort. And she's like, so we go into this like weird party. Like the description of your collar that you found is like, is that important? Like, should we go to this thing you're talking about? We need to talk to this guy Thorndike anyway, so we should be crashing this party. So they do. You see that Sebastian has like this weird horn that might be connected to like the piece of paper he found at the museum the other night. What does that mean? But they're going to this nice party for this rich guy. They're dressed up looking nice. The rich guy's got like, I know you. You own that black horn that I'm looking for. I want to, you can sell it to me, right? The devil's tooth? Come on, give it to me. He's like, dude, I don't know what you're thinking of, but I definitely don't have no weird devil tooth. But as he's saying that, Sebastian starts to have some weird visions of everybody turning into zombies and some weird electric outline of the devil or of a skeleton going over Thorndike. And he's like, okay, this is getting a little out of hand for me. So I'm going to ask you, Ophelia, if you could like, maybe just do a little bit of like magic. Keep things focused on certain things, please. Keep things focused on certain things, please. And she's like, are you serious right now in this room of awful people? How could I say no? So we see that Ophelia can use magic, and she gets some people to control her minds and gets them to throw chairs around and light stuff on fire. Okay. You're really, I didn't know what to expect with this book, so the fact it's leaning into this mystical side, and as we see at the end here, some other stuff involving like the devil and religion, I'm like, whoa, you got me with the Gollum stuff, I can accept that, but you're taking some weird turns. So Sebastian kind of like breaks off from the crowd, sneaks into a room, and he sees like the same energy and the same magic coming off this thing that he got from his horn. It's horn, tooth, whatever, you know what it is. So he's looking up at this light and he's like, what is that? Oh my God. What is it? He starts to cry. What is he looking at? A naked angel with the collar from the piece of paper that he found. Yes, sirree. There's an angel now, and that's where the book ends. And dude, that was cool. This was just really fun. I really dug it. It was just different and unique and silly, and it's really cool and smart, and I just really enjoyed what we got here. It's a beautiful story. I like a good gentleman thief story about this guy who's just better than everything, doing some good stuff, and just taking it in a direction we haven't seen before, kind of turning this concept into like a gay icon and that kind of story. It's brilliant, and I really like to see that. You have a great pairing here. Travis Moore is a fantastic artist. Everything in this book is working on every conceivable level, and it's going in interesting directions I really like. I love the way this is working so far. It's so creative and interesting. And again, while it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, it's really cool. It's really fascinating and fun. I just love the aesthetic and the colors of this thing. It's very brilliant. So, The Sin of the Black Flamingo, issue number 1. I'm going to give an 8 out of 10. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.